Yo, Inca, you want to come out here? I'm not going to leave this up for a long time. But this is the IncogQ that I promised probably like months and months ago. I think it was like in May, something like that. Basically, I want to do a Q&A, and here we go. You know, here we fucking go. There'll be gameplay on the screen. I'll intersplice the tweets and anything else that people have asked. It's only so many questions, so don't worry. I didn't forget about this. I'm just very lazy. And before we get started, number one, if you're a member, you get to see this first, so howdy do. And two, let's try and get to like 1,500 subscribers for the end of the year. That's pretty much what I'm looking at right now, and I think we can do it. But you know, it always takes a little bit more effort. Anyways, on to the video that you're gonna be watching soon. Bruh, 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 bruh. Okay, so while I am recording and I have my face cam up, you guys won't be able to see it, lol. Let's just get right into it. There's about 10 replies and then one other tweet that I saw, so we're gonna pay attention to those right now. So yeah, first one that I see is, alright, so if money is of no issue, what's the top place you want to visit? What would you do there? I guess technically I already went to Japan. That was like not even on my bucket list for real, but it was really cool to go there. But if I had to select a place, like just off the dome, I don't know, honestly. I think there's like a lot of places that I'm kind of like with going to, but like I don't really have any desire to go anywhere per se. But I think since it's open-ended, there's no money involved, you know, it's just you can go there. I think at least visiting like some like European countries might be cool. I think the top destination for me personally would probably be just to like go on a road trip in the United States. I've only been to a handful of states. I lived in Maryland and New York intermittently, you know, going between them for the first like 18 years of my life. And once I turned 18, I, you know, was in New York for the next few years until I moved out to California in 2019, and I've been out there ever since. So, you know, to my knowledge, I haven't been to many other states. I've been to California, I've been to New York, I've been to Maryland, I've been to Virginia for my sister's wedding. I'm sure I've driven through a lot of states, and specifically, I know, you know, going up the eastern seaboard back and forth from New York to Maryland, I've been through those states. I've been in Pennsylvania before for a convention. I'm pretty sure. I think it was Too Many Games 2017. Obviously, I've been in New York City before. I have definitely been in New Jersey before because that's where one of my friends lives, and also, you know, we were just out there, so it was cool. Not like literally just out there, but saying I've been out there, you know, we was out there hanging out. Otherwise, I don't really think I've really been to any other places, to my knowledge, while I was still a coherent person. I know my family's lived in like Chicago, you know, like in Illinois and stuff like that, but I don't recall any of that shit, so I don't really count it. But I love to take like a road trip of several states, see what they're like, and just do that. I would probably do it in a span of like a month. You know, each week could be a different state. Like, you know, do like 2 or 3 or 4 states, and then, you know, pack it on back home. Because I feel like there's a lot of these places that I've never been to that are like popular. Like, I've never been to Georgia, I've never been to Texas, I've never been to the Carolinas. I don't have any desire to go up east, all the way up the eastern seaboard to the places in the rightmost corner, in the rightmost corner of the northeast seaboard there. Don't think I ever will, because, you know, as a person of color, I'm not going to accuse anybody of being racist, but I'm a Boston Celtics fan. I have a lot more knowledge about this than most people do. So I'll leave it there. Florida could be cool, but Florida is definitely not the best place to want to go to. and I guess like some Midwestern states, just to like see what's there, because like we make jokes about states not existing all the time, but like honestly, some of them do exist. There's just like maybe not a lot to do there, but like if you don't have like a relevant figure or celebrity that's from there, no one really cares. Like I don't know, or if it's not memed on like Ohio was, but Ohio has Scott the Woz, so I mean that's always going to be a good thing. Moving on, next one I see is favorite non-Pokemon game and why. Ooh. So that has like 3 different answers. I'll give you all 3 of them since this video will be like a longer sort of video. So I will say first and foremost, anything from the Backyard Sports franchise. I've been a diehard fan of those games forever. It is probably some of the best stuff I've ever played as a kid, and as an adult, it is still super challenging because Backyard Baseball, like everyone likes to play on the like the CD-ROM ones and some other ones here and there. I play on the DS one, and I play it on hardest difficulty, and like people have their opinions about whether or not you use Backyard Sports Kids or like the MLB or NFL or whatever league characters. All I'm gonna say is have fun. If you're not into those games, you want to get into them, just have fun at the end of the day. Don't feel like you have to prove to anybody that you are bad or anything like that. Just use whoever you want. I do mostly Backyard Kids, and I always get an MLB pitcher because pitching is very important in that game to me, and you know, I can get line drives and stuff like that and hit the ball, but pitching is the more important thing for me personally. And then definitely in the basketball games, you definitely want at least one NBA player. Like all the kids are like good at basketball anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Football, it really depends on who you are, and I don't really care. I've done like half teams of created characters in some of these if I had the space to do it, because some of them have a lot of slots and some of them don't. I know the basketball one has like 9 slots, but I know other games only have like a few. But believe me, it's just based on whatever I feel like doing, and Backyard Sports allows me to do that really well. So those games are really fun. Fire Emblem franchise, one of my more low-key likable franchises. I played the games in my youth, and I'm still young obviously, but I meant more so when I was like an early teenager. But I would play them back when, you know, emulating games was not as large as it has been in recent years. It's been fun, I'll say. A lot of them are really fun in my opinion, but some of them can be ridiculous on harder difficulties. Obviously I didn't play Engage, mostly because number one, playing another Switch Fire Emblem game, I think that game, I haven't heard that it's bad or good. I've heard it's pretty fine. Maybe one day I'll play it, maybe I won't, I don't know yet. I think Three Houses definitely encapsulates the entirety of like why I liked Fire Emblem in the first place, and that's I can do literally anything with a lot of these characters, and I can break the game because they're no longer updating it, so there's a lot of ways to break it. And in, you know, previous games, there are definitely ways to break those games too, so I really enjoy doing that, just breaking them down and really seeing what makes them tick. But Three Houses right now, I keep playing it because I find a new way to beat the game and make it super easy on myself every single time I play it. I don't know how, and I'm never going to be able to explain why. It's just how I play it. And like a third franchise outside of Pokemon that I really like, that one's a little tough, but I'll say the NCAA series. It's recently come back, thank the Lord. I do not have a PS5 or the game, but if you want to fund that, hey, help a brother out. Those games are really fun, and hot take, I suppose. I find a lot of sports games very fun. However, the franchises like the NBA and the Madden series, while they are definitely never really improving, because they don't have any competitors, it's very hard to genuinely find something to play that has modern rosters and everything else. And that is like, yeah, just modern rosters, honestly. Because if anything can have modern rosters, then I'll play them. realistically, but NCAA has been my game for years. I play the basketball and the football games more exclusively. I played the older ones a lot on my PS2 before it fucking died when I was in high school and in middle school, most definitely. And honestly, because I am like pseudo athletically gifted, and I say that with a little reminder that I am gifted athletically, it's just that I in my day-to-day life when I was growing up, I was more so just doing a lot of field work and all this other stuff, helping my family, so my body took the brunt of that. So now, like, I can still play sports now, but it'll be a lot harder because my body's definitely been very much worn down. But yeah, those games just help me relax, and it's very fun to figure out how to beat really hard teams in those games. So I've been playing NCAA not 13 but 12 or 11, whichever one has Tim Tebow on it, I forget. I've been doing a Hawaii Dynasty mode for, you know, forever now, because they're not a ranked team in there, and I don't think they've been good in recent memory to my knowledge. But you know, it's really fun to beat up on teams that I put on my schedule intentionally just so I go beat them. I think I'm 5-0 or 6-0 right now, or something like that. And I just, you know, play to my strengths. You know, I can read defense at least a little bit. And offense is really just, hey, that person looks open. How do I, you know, do I hold down the button? Do I press, you know, I just tap it? Like there's whole entire things I could talk about because I really like analyzing sports and sport stuff, you know, route running, reading offensive and defensive playbooks, stuff like that. It's very much a passion of mine. I wanted to be a sports commentator growing up, and I never got to do that. I always wanted to make videos on this platform about sports and other things like that, but I would have to make a new entire channel, I would say, because it would interfere with how the algorithm looks at my channel. Or I can just start tomorrow. I don't know. Like, I don't get it. I maybe will do it in the future. I know I really want to do that with my friend Patty, with my friend Ben, and some other people, you know, get them to, you know, be a part of that sometime, just because we really do like sports and we're pretty cool about it. I did in one point in time want to do a podcast or like a little show where me, Patty, and Ben are talking about old jerseys and stuff like that, but I don't have the time for that, and I don't think Patty and Ben do either, so it is what it is. Outside of those three, shout out to the Budokai Tenkaichi franchise, and now Sparking Zero's coming out. Love those games to death, and they really helped me understand fighting games, because I am a notorious button masher. So I learned a lot more combos and a lot more situational awareness from those games. I do play fighting games, by the way. I just am not an avid fighting game player anymore. I don't have the time, and I don't have the hand strength. Well, I do have the hand strength. I don't have the memorization for that anymore. Like, my brain space is already taken up with Pokemon and other things. Doing fighting game combos and trying to really put them together again like I'm 13, 14 years old is not happening right now. And like, I say it like I'm super old. I'm only 27. But it is what it is. Alright, that took a little bit, but that's okay. I like to talk, and this is my channel. So what are some of your favorite baked goods? I mean, you know, brownies and cookies, man. I'm a pretty lax guy about that kind of stuff. I'm not very specific, you know. I will particularly always like a good oatmeal raisin, but chocolate anything's pretty good. Not too much though. It can definitely be very obnoxious how chocolatey certain things can be as I've gotten older. Other things are like, what do you think? I know Entenmann's cookies were definitely my favorites for a long time. There's this like cinnamon weird little like swirl pie thing that we get from Safeway sometimes. It's quite good. I've eaten it in one sitting. I've eaten it in 2 sittings before. It is a lot. It is very sugary and very diabetic. Let me just say that for the record. I love that thing to death, and I would give it up if it really meant I had to give it up, but I wouldn't right now. It's really good. And brownies are pretty good. Victoria's brownies are good. I think sometimes we put them in the old fridge and then they become hard, and like I don't really enjoy that portion of it. But when she makes cookies, just knock me out cold. Those are the best things in the world right now, bro. I love those. Favorite Ben & Jerry's product? There is a specific one, and I'm going to look this up because I used to get it all the time. It is a core ice cream pint. It's this one that's on screen that I have, the Boom Chocolata. Is it that one? It might be that one. It might, no, it's the brownie batter core. That is my favorite one by far. I don't know what they did. I don't know what it is, but I know one thing for sure, bro. I used to go to the Walgreens. All right, I went to college for 3 years and dropped out. All right, let me just say, I would walk home from the bus stop, go to the Walgreens, get a little pint of ice cream and maybe some other shit, and then purchase it and dip. I would be good for the next half hour to 2 hours. That shit was great. I love it to death, and I could eat that all day, bro. That is my favorite Ben & Jerry's by far. And I usually don't like care for branded like sort of stuff. I really don't care. But that one right there, undefeated. You could convince me to do a lot of things for like a 24 pack of those. It has to be 24 of them because I need one for like every day of the month that isn't a weekend. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Because it'd be like 3 weekends. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, I'm getting off track, but that's my favorite. What was your favorite childhood cartoon that wasn't Teen Titans? That's a good one. It's a good one. It's Ed, Edd n Eddy. All of my mannerisms, all my cadences, a lot of my mannerisms and cadences come from cartoons because my brother drew comics, and he would also do things with his toys where we make them talk and stuff, which is where all my like impressions or where like the Kermit the Frog stuff comes from. Like all that stuff comes from watching TV, having a brother who's very animated and you know, wanting to be just like him. I did those things, and so Ed, Edd n Eddy was a gateway drug basically to a lot of those fundamental ideas that I have, which is that while loud is funny, having good comedic timing is even funnier, which is why I maintain to this day that while people will say I'm funny specifically when I am trying to be funny. I will always have a quip to say in call or something dumb as shit to say, and I'll know if the joke lands always before you know. And especially with that kind of stuff, I usually write down in a notebook that I have, which you guys can't see it on screen, or maybe I'll flash this portion of my little face cam up, but this little notebook, I started writing down like a ton of random other things in here, jokes and drawings and stuff like that, because it helps me remember certain things, but also that while I am somebody who people say is, you know, funny and talented and comedic, whatever the fuck people say, because I always put down the things I do because they come natural to me. I don't find them funny. I just find them a little entertaining, I suppose. But what I find good is that I really learned how to pace the way I say things so that it always lands. Now, when other people try to do the same thing that I do or be repetitive and try and say the same thing that I would say, it doesn't land, because you can't just repeat a joke so many times and then someone else tries to do it and it has the same effect. And this is very evident in my earlier FFA videos, and definitely through other videos that I have on my channel where I make certain kind of jokes that stick around for a lot of videos and I move on to another one, and other people will like jump on those jokes as well, trying to make the same sort of joke. But it's all about timing, and it's all about how you say it and when you say it. So basically timing, all in all. So I just thought to say that with this cartoon question, because I don't think I see another question like that But like I said, it is very much a it's a very big influence Ed and Eddie was, and a lot of other cartoons like SpongeBob, My Gym Partner's a Monkey, Flapjack Chowder, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, definitely one of the bigger influences. I definitely think is underrated in my life, and even like later shows on, but there's a lot of like early shows. I know Looney Tunes definitely played a big part in a lot of my timing when it comes to jokes. I try to do this thing where I pace out what I say and how I say it, rather than just saying things and them never sticking to the wall. You have to be able to hear the joke and react to the joke for me to move on. And that is a very core tenet of mine, but we're not going to get into that right now. Moving on, I do have Rock Smashes, so I'll do this one before I get to the last 5 here. Cause he used the hashtag. If you can make a team / squad of 6 monsters from various franchises to make a team out of, what would they be? If you can't think of 6, you can do 3. So off the dome, if we're talking monsters, Godzilla's got to be there. And there's quite a few Godzillas. So I'm going with, let me think, because there's quite a few good Godzillas that I could go with. I do like a fair bit of like, let me think, because there's like the Showa era Godzillas that I fuck with a lot, but I do fuck with like some of the Millennium era, which I believe is 1999 2004, but like they're not like crazy, they're cool. And then like when they rebrought it back in 2016, a lot of those were really cool too. So I guess it really just depends. I'll say just Godzilla in general because it is one of my favorite monsters, genuinely. And while I don't know everything about Godzilla, I do think that is still one of my favorite monsters, you know what I mean? Moving on, we're gonna go with Dragonoid. I don't think he's a real monster, but he is, technically speaking, a dragon and Drago from Bakugan. Yeah, you guys weren't expecting that, were you, huh? Hell yeah, Drago's great. That's my dog for real, bro. I mean, Hydronoid's cool, but it's Dragonoid, bro. You can never ever fucking take that nigga away. That's my dog. But if we're talking like monster creatures, like from franchises and stuff like that, that comes back to my knowledge on like certain kinds of monsters. I guess like, because like MonsterVerse is really not like an in-depth, well, it's a pretty in-depth thing, but like what, you want me to say King Kong and Godzilla? Like I like Godzilla more. And I don't know, because there's a lot of like monsters and such, so it really depends, at least to me personally, because I think that the guy from Cloverfield is kind of sinister, but he's cool, he's all right. Would I call like Hellboy a monster? Maybe, I don't know, probably not, right? What's the nigga? There's a few monsters that I know of. There's the little niggas, the damn gremlin niggas. There's also what's the Venus flytrap one? Hold on, it's from Little Shop of Horrors. Hold on, I know this one. I should know this one. Oh my god, dude, what is Audrey 2? I think it is. Yeah, Audrey 2's great. That's a good one. The Cloverfield stuff. Hellboy, definitely one of my favorites. Godzilla, as I just said. I've watched I watched recently Cabin in the Woods, and there's like definitely some like monsters in there. If we talk on like other crazy shit, Pan's Labyrinth, the monster from that bitch, that one's good. Shin Godzilla's a good one to pick out too, but you know, Godzilla's Godzilla. Babadook, and like even the big ass monster from The Host, I think that's the 2006 one. That's a really good one too, but I'm getting ahead of myself talking about horror films and other things like that. Yeah, I don't know how much of that was coherent and what made sense and what didn't, but Rock Smash, thank you for the question. I wanted to shout you out specifically because you used the hashtag. Moving on, favorite sports teams. All right, we're going to do this one time and one time only. Keep this in mind. All right. American football, New York Giants. I've been a long-suffering fan of this team. A long-suffering fan of this team. I should say it one more time, but I will not. All right, they're my team. I don't know when I decided, and I don't care. National Basketball Association, the NBA. The Boston Celtics. They finally won another chip within the modern. They finally won another chip. But you know, it is what it is. They're my favorite team. I did not know that they were associated with people being outwardly racist like that. But you know, they're still my favorite team. WNBA, it has to be the Liberty. I have only gone to WNBA games like a few, like 3 or 4 times, and they've all been Liberty games. And I'm talking when the Liberty were garbage, my nigga. When the Liberty were ass, that was when I was a fan, and I've still been a fan since. And they've been really, I think they're first as of me recording this video in the WNBA, but I don't really watch WNBA like that anymore. I should probably start back up, but with everybody claiming to be Caitlin Clark fans and all this other bullshit, I'm not even going to give myself a headache trying to figure out what the hell everyone's doing over there. But regardless, I don't really have a hockey team. I kind of just like the sport of hockey, so you can go off and pick whoever. Like, back in the day, I would say like the Bruins, but that was basically just me riding on the Bruins. No pause. Like, they were cool, I guess. Baseball. Technically speaking, I was a Yankees fan when I was a kid and a teenager. I ended up becoming a Red Sox fan to keep up the Boston mantra with the Celtics, but I never became a Patriots fan, so I didn't think it made a lot of sense. So I've been tossing and turning with that, so I kind of just went neutral on baseball now. I like watching the sport, and most people will be like, oh, you're a Red Sox fan? That's nasty. And it's like, yeah, you're right. It was definitely very nasty, but I have a championship hat, so I don't really give a fuck. But I kind of went neutral on baseball nowadays. My wife loves the San Francisco Giants, so I guess we cheer for them whenever they're around. I guess going back to hockey, I would say the Capitals. They were always a really good hometown team. Always, like most Washington teams, doing just enough to disappoint you every fucking year. But the Capitals were always cool. Ovechkin was always a lovable icon to me, so hey man, that's a dope guy. My dad likes the MLS, which I'm pretty sure his favorite team is the New York Red Bulls. I've never been one for MLS, so I don't really care. When we talk about football and we talk about that side of the world and, you know, stuff like that, my dad has always been a big fan of Messi and Ronaldo. And back in middle school, it was a very big deal if you picked Barcelona or Real Madrid. I never picked one, to my knowledge, and if I have, someone can correct me in the comments, but I never really picked one. I just, you know, I fuck with them. You know, they're cool. College basketball, there's quite a few teams I've rooted for. Kansas back in the day because they were a dominant team, and I always knew my bracket would be busted by the time I get far enough. Duke and North Carolina, I've never had an affiliation with either of them, but I love to see teams that are blue either fail or win. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I was a VCU fan before they like popped off in that one NCAA tournament because I really like the fucking fact that, let me just make sure I have this right. I'm pulling it up right now because I know what they're for. Yep, it's Rodney the Ram. This motherfucker looked dumb as shit. And I fucked with it so much to the point where I was like, yeah, this is a funny team that's kind of bad. To the point, if I still have my PS2, you could see me make a player and put him on VCU and do the whole entire fucking season, bro. It was the life, to say the least. College football, I don't have a fan of a team anymore. I was a big Alabama bandwagoner when it was funny. And then I grew up and was like, it's only fun. Your team winning all the time is cool until you're kind of like, oh, this is like okay, I guess. So it doesn't really matter to me. Not no more anyway. So just like other sports, I've gone neutral on it because it's like, There's always going to be entertaining teams no matter what. But that's how I feel. I don't know of any other sports that I'm forgetting. I've watched cricket periodically back in my middle school and early high school days. You would have never known that until I told you that. Don't ask me about anything about cricket. I don't remember anything. Moving on. If you had 5 Pokemon to be real, which ones would you choose? Don't have to be your favorites, just ones you think would be neat to see IRL. Alright, so first one is Ho-Oh. I think Ho-Oh would be the prettiest Pokemon in the damn sky. I think that one is definitely going to be really cute. And seeing the sparkles and everything. Listen, Ash hasn't aged since he saw Ho-Oh, so I'm thinking I could get that and I'll be good to go, you know what I'm saying? I could live in possible situations since Ash be getting thunder shocked and all this other crap, bro. Listen, I'm trying to be immortal too, my nigga, or at least close. But really, Ho-Oh, it flies, it's pretty, it's cool. Who wouldn't want to see that IRL? I think, at least for me, there's quite a few, honestly. If we go with a favorite Pokemon, I think wanting to see Mudkip is always going to be a funny thing, because it's just an axolotl that's blue and maybe has a little front thing on its head, you know, like I can't see my forehead type of vibe. But that's definitely one of those I want to see. Eevee, I think seeing Eevee in real life would be really cute. I think knowing that it could evolve into some demons is really funny, but Eevee IRL would just be really nice, and it's probably very cute. I don't know. While I don't originally like moths, I think Frostmoth might be really cute to see in real life. I'm never gonna say that ever again, but I am saying it. I think it would be kind of cute to see a damn Frostmoth, but you know, it's cool. And lastly, I think like the only other Pokemon I want to see functionally how it would look is gonna be a scary one for a lot of you. And I think it's scary only on the basis that it's just an open vessel, or like it might look really fucking weird, is Pinsir. Pinsir is a Pokemon, right? It's gonna be a Pokemon no matter what. But if you saw an Eldritch being like that pull up, how do you react? It'd be super fucking weird. A mouth in the middle and it's just looking at you with them big ass horns. A fucking stag beetle. I'm pretty sure. No, that's Heracross, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. But like a fucking insect on 2 feet with an open gaping mouth in the middle and then eyes on the top part and big ass horns. Bro, we can make millions, billions of dollars off that horror factor, bro. That would be lit as shit. I know that sounds crazy as fuck. But I'm just saying it'd be kind of cute. It'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cute. You know, I said Ho-Oh, I said Mudkip, I said Eevee, I said Pinsir. Did I miss one? Am I missing one? Am I dumb? Maybe. I think that's only 4. A 5th one might be like Jirachi. How does that functionally look with the little star in its head and everything else? What is it like? Is it like, because it's a steel type, right? So the thing on its head has to be like steel, unless that's like fleshy. Then is its face steel? Like I creep myself out asking these questions, but it'd be nice to see what they'd actually like look and I guess feel like. But it'll creep you out at night to think about what part of Jirachi is metal, and if it has any parts that are really metal. Last 3 questions here. What's one of the funniest things? Oh, my thing turned on, but you guys won't be able to see it anyway. What is one of the funniest things you've seen / done while hanging out with friends? Oh man, that's a good question, Bingo. That's a great question. Because there's been a few moments that have been absolutely fucking atrociously funny, dude. Man, fuck. We've had a lot of good times as my friends and I have known each other, at least on the internet, since 2017. And I mean, I have other friends I've known, or at least a few other friends I've known for way longer, but for the friends that I talk to mostly, I think I would say man, there's a lot of funny ass moments. Because there was too many games when I ate the hot wings, which is a video that Grizzy recently sent me again, and it was still as funny as the first time I did that. I'm not even gonna tell you what happened, but all I'm gonna tell you is it was dumb that I did it, and it's still dumb to this day. Just understand, I am a fool. I think playing games in call, or at least watching like VGC matches in call, is always gonna be a vibe, and it's always a fun time because we always watch. And I should really say this, I really do fuck with VGC, but I want people to understand first and foremost, I'm not good at that. Well, I used to be when I was a kid, but I'm no longer good at that. So if you're looking for advice from me, you're going to be getting the old head advice. You're going to actually get an old ass nigga to give you advice. And I mean old in the traditional sense of I give out bad advice. And I haven't played this game. I haven't played VGC like that seriously in a long time. So you will not get good advice from me. But I would say it was a Showdown Live. I don't remember which one, but I think it was the Z Blissey Live. That was one of the funniest moments that I've had with people, and it's on YouTube. I think it's Z Snatch or something like that on Blissey, and then we got 2-Hit KO'd on our Halucha. That was hilarious. Anytime I do a Showdown Live, those are the funniest moments. I haven't done them recently. Getting people together for like an hour or two is already hard enough. So we might bring them back if there's like demand for it, but don't expect me to anytime soon. But yeah, I really do like those. What else? I can't think of many other funny moments, but if you go through my channel and my videos, there's a lot of good moments on my channel. Dynamax Adventures, those videos, amazing content right there. Just amazing content. You go through those, you'll enjoy what you see. You'll like the way you look, I guarantee it. All right, so we got 2 more questions here. Next one is from Gecko. Hey, what's up, man? Favorite series, doesn't matter if it's games, movies, books, etc. Well, if it's not Pokemon, and this is just me being, me, if it's not Pokerman, let's say not Pokemon, not Backyard Sports, and stuff like that, that is obvious that I could answer. Honestly, there's quite a few. I might say there's quite a few that definitely hit that itch for me. But honestly, it's gotta be the Wizard 101 and Power 101 stuff, man. I didn't even mention those earlier when we were talking about some of my favorite non-Pokemon games, because I wanted to bring it up here. Because I'm a heavy promoter of these games, and I will keep being that guy, and maybe someday I will get promoted myself through those games for whatever amount of reason, because I think they're neat, and I think everybody should try them. Because while I understand some people want to pay $10 to play a game, I'm also of the opinion that you get probably one of my favorite experiences out of the way. That is playing a game that means so much to somebody. And I've gone over this topic before. I hate trying games for people and being like, oh, I'm gonna try this, and then trying it, and then they never ever try anything I want them to try. Because it actually actively annoys me that somebody would be like that. But it is what it is at the end of the day. But Wizard 101, Power 101, those are games that I feel like people should try, play together with me, and really get it down, because they're addictive. The cycle, what's the wording I'm looking for here? The gameplay loop can be a little tedious at times, and you could definitely use the little in-game currency they have to buy and shit to like skip through some of that content. But I do think that it's well worth it, and having fun with somebody who knows this game and can really help you perfect how you play the game within a week, so you can really be done with the game in about 2 months time, because it's a very long game now. But if you wanted to be like the first part of the game, like up to level 50, you could do that in a solid 2 weeks if you wanted to, if you're gonna no life it. But honestly, I mean, hey man, I'm just saying, fun games. It's my favorite series of all time, and I wish more people tried it, and I wish more people actually wanted to, you know, play things that I also play a lot of. I get it. It doesn't seem fun. It doesn't seem like it'd be something you want to do. But I'm just telling you, for the record, from the bottom of my heart, it would have been a great gift to give to me on my birthday if you said, hey, I want to try this game and actually play it for a long time. But no harm, no foul. I don't expect people to actually play those games. I know they're old. I know they don't look like games a lot of you would play that are of my close friends, but it would be nice someday. Last question is from Anari. What's one place you wish or would want to go in the entire world? That's a great question, and I think it was kind of answered earlier concerning the top place to visit if money wasn't an issue. But I'll give you a better, I guess a better answer because it could be specific. Honestly, in the entire world, like, there's only like one real place I really want to go to and like go back to, even in time, technically speaking, but we don't have to get into that. And that's like going back to when me and my family lived in Maryland. And this was when me and my brother and all our family had moved the first time to New York. I wish I could go back to all that, you know. Times were a little bit simpler, sure, and you know, it was the early 2000s and everything didn't work out, of course, with that house. But I just think going back to that, getting that house back, being able to live there again would be so dope. Because I remember me and my brother visited over there one time and I felt everything all at once, but I didn't tell him. Mostly because I felt like it would have been weird to be like, yeah, this is crazy. But I was like, I took it in as like, I remember all of this. Going to the elementary school and, you know, getting home from school, having my Mucha Lucha toys, going to our friends Sam and Nikki's house, I think their names were, and going to watch the Jirachi movie only to be grounded and on punishment for like a week because we didn't go home in time or mom didn't know where we were. Watching the fireworks over there where it was over there, and then there was the giant and everything. That was a crossover. Seeing my dad come home every day from his army stuff or Navy stuff, whichever one he was a part of, for a bit of time. Like, oh, and then like being outside talking to some kid who's like, oh, you know, the election's happening and the people are going to go vote. Who do you want to win? Like, I have an influence on it. Like, it was a vibe. I will say that. But you know, it was then. Now we're here. I will probably make my way back to the East Coast in the future. I'm not gonna say if that's happening anytime soon because it's not. But those memories are cherished in my mind, and I have a very lengthy memory, so I remember all of that. And going back there was really nice. We didn't stay there for too long, but seeing the street again, seeing everything, I was like, wow, holy shit. Like, things have changed, obviously, but man, it was definitely something to go back to. Otherwise, other specific places, I guess I want to go to Florida and go to that Disney park, whichever one that is. I do not know the difference between land and world. You can try and explain it to me. I will forget it because my brain has too much knowledge in it already. And then realistically, despite going to New York, living in New York for years and years, I never ever went to like the Empire State Building like that, and I don't want to go, but I do want to take a picture there at least once, just for keepsake reasons. But you know, there's quite a few places that would be very memorable to go to. I've never been to Yosemite. That's a big one. I want to go there at some point, but no time soon, I imagine. I'm too busy. But yeah, so this long ass video, if you sat here through it, hey man, thank you. This has been the Incog Q&A. Hashtag Ask IncogM. I'll do one of these again, probably next year. I would like to do one every year, just so we get out questions and I could wait a little bit and then answer them. I think maybe at that time period on the, let me just make sure I, you know, have things that I have to look up that I need. Hold on, because God, this is gonna be so fucking crazy. Hold on. If I find more questions and the video's not ending, and we're gonna have a long ass video to render. Let's see. Let's go up here. Yeah, okay. Oh, so Steelix asks questions, I'm pretty sure. And I do want to put the answers to or I'll read the answers to those. I know he asked me, is it true that I had like he asked, let's see. I've been watching also Trade Era FFAs. It seems like you had less fun in those than the ones you do in Scarlet Violet. Is that true? And what happened during that time is so to cause such a thing? And have you ever thought of bringing back Guess the Set video idea? A while ago you had people guess like Mon, like who had a choice banner Dactyl at that time. One more before I fuck off. These videos are fun-offs. Yu-Gi-Oh term for a single fun card game in a deck, like the aforementioned Guess That Set idea. I think he was mostly asking about bringing back older video ideas and other things. And this is a great question. I think that I had better timing with Sword and Shield. It was peak content and really everybody was around more because, you know, we weren't as busy as we are now. The Scarlet Violet videos are funner just because I feel like we did everything that we could have possibly tried to do in the Sword and Shield videos, and I went 100 straight uploads of that. No breaks, no nothing. 100 videos of that. And then I stopped for a week. I killed my channel basically by doing that, but I also didn't want to increase burnout rate. Then we started doing them again, and then burnout started to hit. So I think Sword and Shield was definitely more fun for like things for new things, but then like Scarlet Violet showed me like it's Scarlet Violet made things really fun. I think the pandemic definitely helped Sword and Shield for me in terms of content, but otherwise like Scarlet Violet's like very fun because there's always new shit to think of and other shit to do. But I think it shouldn't have to be stated, but the Sword and Shield arc was definitely very fun. I think I would love to go back to then, but we had a lot of time on our hands because of the pandemic and such, but also like it was just easy, you know? And I'm definitely bringing back old videos, as you guys have been able to see, but there has to be a demand. I would like to just stress here that the starters video didn't do that well, so I'll do a second one, but if that one doesn't do well either, I would definitely hope to tell you that we won't make those anymore if they don't do well. There has to be an appeal. It has to be something that you want from those videos. There has to be a draw. And I think me and Thoth did a really good job in that video, but barely enough people have seen it. So, I mean, I'm going to change the thumbnail. More than likely it'll be changed at this point. And I want you guys to go watch that video genuinely. I think it's a great video. And I think a lot of people didn't get to see it. And it took Thoth a bit of time. And, you know, it's a really good video, you know. And I say it took a bit of time because, like, you know, Thoth is going through her own stuff. But also, like, it was just hard enough to think of concepts and really get those concepts nailed down. But now we have something that we can get going, that we have a little, you know, we could do it, you know, do the whole entire thing basically together, because I kind of just dropped it on her and just expected her to figure it out. And that definitely made it so that it didn't go as crystal clear as we wanted it to. But, you know, now we're here. Here we are in the future. We'll figure it out, you know. But definitely we'll do other videos if people will watch them, because like I've always said, if no one's really gonna watch it, then I'm not gonna make it. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, so there we go. There's the last one that I knew I would have forgotten if I didn't say anything to myself. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. This long ass like 50-minute video. Thank you all for watching. I will have little chapters in the description so that people can find their question and hear it answered and everything else. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. FFAs are still happening. We might get other videos at another point in time, but right now those are the ones that are being watched the most. So we'll see what happens. I'll definitely try to make other content and definitely try to keep some consistency in all of our lives when it comes to me producing content. But for now, I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.